Hello to everyone watching this. It is December 2nd. We are officially in the season of Advent, and I don't think it's too early to say Merry Christmas, even though it's still 3 weeks away. So we are continuing with Proverbs on our weekly devotionals that I'm trying to keep up with. And we are rounding out chapter 6 with verses 20 through 35. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and start reading them. Feel free to grab your Bible, read along, or just listen, whatever you want to do. My son, keep your father's command and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them around your heart and fasten them on your neck. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you. For this command is a lamp, this teaching is a light, and correction and instruction are the way of life. Keeping you from your neighbor's wife, from the smooth talk of a wayward woman. Do not lust in your heart after her beauty or let her captivate you with her eyes. For a prostitute can be had for a loaf of bread, but another man's wife preys on your very life. Can a man scoop fire into his lap without his clothes being burned? Can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? So it is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. People do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his hunger when he is starving. Yet if he is caught, he must pay sevenfold, though it costs him all the wealth of his house. But a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. Blows and disgrace are his lot, and his shame will never be wiped away. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. He will not accept any compensation, and he will refuse a bribe, however great it is. When I was a kid, the church my family and I went to, they hosted a guest speaker who actually talked about specifically Proverbs and what Proverbs has to say about adultery. And I remember that this passage and then chapter 7, which is all about warnings against the adulterous woman, just him talking about them. Like when I say kid, I was like in junior high. And so I had an idea of what sex was, of what adultery was, and the importance of sex being contained within marriage. And so as I was listening to all this, these passages right here, the end of 6 and the beginning of 7, really it struck a chord within me, and it has always stuck with me, these passages and what they have to say about adultery. Particularly in verse 30 and 31, it says, people do not despise a thief if he steals bread to stay alive, but a man who commits adultery has no sense. And the key difference there is the difference between a need and a want. Having food to stay alive is a need. And without getting into a whole moral argument, the Bible in many different places does make it clear that although stealing is not advisable, nor is stealing condoned, stealing to stay alive is something that the Lord will not condemn you on. That is not going to be the reason you are condemned. However, that is because food is a need. If you go to somebody else who is not your wife or husband for pleasure, for sex, for that sort of relationship, that is a want. Sex is meant to be a gift from God, and when we abuse it, when we go to somebody else for that same gift, then we are in the wrong. And it says, you're a fool. You have no sense if you do this. And we know what Proverbs has to say about fools, about people who do not have wisdom. And so I would just encourage you, whether you're an adult, whether you're a teenager, whether you're a kid, bear in mind that there is a difference between a need and a want. And our wants are meant to be blessings from God. And our needs are things that, our needs are things that God will supply us no matter what. And wants are things that he will bless us with. And so if our wants are not blessings from God, then they are not wise. We have no sense if we go after the pleasures of this life if it's not a blessing from God. I hope that all makes sense. And I will see you guys on Sunday or next week whenever you decide to tune in next. Go in peace.